of life comes, who fills all heaven and earth. May your light shine within us. May we know you're not separate from us. May we feel you in our hearts. Let your will come true. Let us love like you. Thanks for your forgiveness. May we forgive ourselves and others too. Thank you for guiding our steps while we're here. May we walk in love, not fear. When we listen, your message is clear. The kingdom of heaven is here. The kingdom of heaven is here. The kingdom of heaven is here.
So I'd like to start by welcoming any friends from Unity in San Antonio, Texas. With Reverend Nina Clark, we've been participating in a series of online Holy Week discussion groups. I have to tell you, it's been rich. If you're with us from Unity in San Antonio this evening, if you are with us virtually from any geography, welcome, welcome, welcome. In any process of growth, in any process of change, of becoming, we might expect certain universal experiences. Palm Sunday seems to suggest that the journey might begin with something of a tension that rises and rises and rises, finally giving way to, well, something of a collision between an old way of being and a new way of being. Think of Pilate and Jesus, of course, arriving at the same time for the festival. Now, I suspect that you can relate to this idea, whether in your inner world or in your outer world, to change a concept of self. For example, let's say you decide to live from a new, more appropriate sense of your worth. To change a concept of self may well find you in the company of an inner voice that says things like, who do you think you are anyway? Who do you think you are? And as you start to live from that new sense of value, that inner voice may be joined by outer voices that say, and I don't mean in a kind way, you have changed. I don't know who you are anymore. And so we begin to see how easily Palm Sunday's tension and upheaval give rise to outright resistance. Jesus is recorded as having parried with the authorities in something of a game of trap and escape. The authorities trying to trap him in a snare of theology and legality And Jesus, time after time after time, escaping with his unique brand of dexterity and ingenuity. And maybe Wednesday's unnamed woman suggests that among those experiences, we might expect to find support. He was surrounded by those who refused to accept the prophecies of his life. And the unnamed woman from Wednesday, well, she poured oil over his head. This was a burial ritual, you understand, essentially acknowledging those prophecies for the first time. I like to think this is why he responded to her so strongly, suggesting that, and I quote, "Wherever the good news will be told, so too will she be remembered." And let's not miss the obvious point that, well, Jesus allowed her to do it. He allowed her to offer that support. He allowed her to offer that belief. In a sense, he allowed himself to be seen. And I find myself thinking, as we navigate our journeys of transformation, how willing are we to allow support when it presents itself? I think it's a great question. I have several people in this room looking down and out the window. So, the Holy Week narrative offers the comfort that while your journey may present tension, while your journey may present upheaval, resistance in low moments, it will also present new friends who will offer support. In unknown lands, it will present wise mentors who will lend guidance. And the narrative, of course, ends with the grand climax that is the triumph of Easter morning, a triumph that was promised at the outset of the narrative, you'll recall, beginning with the presentation of that palm frond. The promise of victory was present from the beginning. So all in all, Holy Week suggests that just as every evening anticipates a morning, just as every winter anticipates a spring, so too does every dying away anticipate a coming forth, requesting nothing of us beyond our cooperation. In other language, it might be said that the Holy Week narrative suggests the radical epiphany that everything dies, and yet nothing dies.
Kingdom of heaven is here. The kingdom of heaven is here. The kingdom of heaven is here.
So the scripture offers, and it's something of a loose quote, where do you want us to go and make preparations for the feast? And so Jesus sent two of his disciples into the city to find a certain man who directed them to a large upper room. And while they were eating, Jesus took the bread, and after he had given thanks, he shared it with his disciples. Then he took the wine, and after he gave thanks, he shared it as well. So I would invite us to approach this evening by understanding that what Christians are recognizing as the Last Supper around the world this evening, Jesus and his followers would have recognized as a Passover meal. In his tradition, it was after 9 plagues, water turning into blood, frogs overrunning the land, diseases, boils. I mean, you get the picture. And before the 10th plague, or the death of every firstborn in Egypt, the Pharaoh freed the Hebrews. During their last meal, the Hebrews were to mark their doorposts with some of the blood of the lamb so that the angel of death would, pass over those houses and, of course, spare those firstborn children. So let's consider the possibility. Let's consider the possibility that for Jesus, the wine might have symbolized something of a divine love, a love that might comfort, even protect. And of course, during that last meal, the Hebrews were to eat some of the lamb in preparation for the journey ahead. So for Jesus, the bread may have symbolized something of a divine life, maybe, a life that might renew, a life that might sustain. So in offering the bread and the wine, Jesus was offering 2 ancient symbols which would have offered deep, deep meaning to his followers. Now, our first ritual of the evening is drawn from this moment, as is the Catholic sacrament of communion. There are some notable philosophical differences between the two. And in deep respect for our Catholic family members, I will avoid use of the term communion. I'll avoid that. Now, as we embark upon this ritual, you are warmly welcome to remain seated. It's perfectly fine. Otherwise, when the music begins, here's how it works. You may approach either of these tables. We suggest outside aisles, please, and thank you. You'll find 3 chaplains there. One will assist you in taking a piece of bread. Yes, it's gluten-free bread. You'll be guided to, thank you, praise God, yes. You'll be guided simply to hold that piece of bread in the juice, right? We're just going to hold it there. And then the first chaplain will offer an affirmation. The second chaplain will offer an affirmation. And then you will be assisted in completing the ritual and returning to your seat. Is that clear? I will not ask for questions. I'm so happy to be here with you tonight. Thank you. Thank you for the gift of your presence.
remembrance of me, eat this bread. In remembrance of me, drink this wine. In remembrance of me, pray for the time when God's own will is done. In remembrance of me, heal the sick. In remembrance of me, feed the poor. In remembrance of me, open the door and let your brother in. Let him in. In remembrance of me, eat this bread. In remembrance of me, drink this wine. In remembrance of me, pray for the time when God's own will is done. In remembrance of me, heal the sick. In remembrance of me, feed the poor. In remembrance of me, open the door and let your brother in. Let him in. In remembrance of me, eat this bread. In remembrance of me, drink this wine. In remembrance of me, pray for the time when God's own will is done. In remembrance of me, heal the sick. In remembrance of me, feed the poor. In remembrance of me, open the door and let your brother in. Let him in. In remembrance of me, eat this bread. In remembrance of me, drink this wine. In remembrance of me, pray for the time when God's own will is done. In remembrance of me, heal the sick. In remembrance of me, feed the poor. In remembrance of me, open the door and let your brother in. Let him in.
So accounts of Thursday, unlike the synoptic accounts, the writer of the gospel according to John completely misses the Passover feast and tells the story of Jesus washing the feet of his disciples instead. Now, while the feet would have been washed as a matter of tradition, it's not the host. And in this setting, Jesus would have been the host. It's not the host who would have done so. So when Jesus washes the feet of his disciples, we know it's significant. We know it's significant. And again, by this point in the narrative, it's really clear. He knew his fate. Now, the writer of John has Jesus finish that ritual by saying this. He said, "Do you understand what I've done? Now that I've washed your feet, you should wash each other's feet." And then he said, "I have set you an example." That's what he said. I have set you an example. Now, it strikes me that the Passover meal story and the foot washing story, they share something of a theme. And that theme goes something like this. Again and again and again, Jesus seems to say, it was never about me. If you would remember me, don't repeat my name, but embody whatever life I might have awakened in you. Embody whatever love I might have awakened in you, and remind others that they can do the same. It was never about me. If you would honor me, don't evoke my presence, but invite humility and compassion and inclusion and forgiveness to rise from the very depths of your own being, and then share that sweet fragrance with your world. It was never about me. If you would earn my favor, don't bow before my image, but let the bread and let the wine remind you that it was always about the greater works which you will do. And let the washing of feet remind you that it was always about a kingdom in which no one is too high for humility and no one is too low for grace.
I'm raising the veil between me and my God. No separation, no distance at all. God is right here in my heart. God is right here in my heart. God is right here in my heart. I'm raising the veil between me and my God. No separation, no distance at all. God is right here in my heart. God is right here in my heart. God is right here in my heart. I'm raising the veil between me and my God. no separation,
no distance at all.
no distance at all. God is right here in my heart. God is right here in my heart. God is right here in my heart. I'm raising the veil
between me and my God.
Between me and my God.
No separation.
No separation.
No distance at all.
No distance at all.
God is right here.
God is right here in my heart. God is right here in my heart. God is right here in my heart. I'm raising the veil
between me and my God.
Between me and my God.
No separation.
No separation.
No distance at all.
No distance at all.
God is right here.
God is right here in my heart. God is right here in my heart. God is right here in my heart. I'm raising the veil. God is right here. God is right here in my heart. God is right here in my heart. God is right here in my heart. I'm raising the veil.
Charles Fillmore, Unity co-founder, of course, with Myrtle Fillmore, offered a similar charge when he taught, and I do quote Charles, who said that the life elements of the Christ were sown as seed in the soil of our race mind, and it is our privilege to appropriate and incorporate these precious elements into both mind and body. And so it is that our prayer chaplains, I am so profoundly honored and grateful for an evening spent in your noble presence. Thank you, prayer chaplains. And so it is that our prayer chaplains have prepared a meditation drawn from these 12 powers of Christ in man. It'll last about 10 minutes. And when that meditation is complete, you will be welcome to bring your personal candle forward and to light it from whichever power speaks to you. You will find that they are labeled, and then you may return to your seat and extinguish your candle when you're ready. Take a deep breath, please. You are welcome to engage this experience with eyes closed or eyes open.
We light this candle for life. There is one life. This life is God's life. This life is my life. I am one with the infinite life of the universe, sustaining, inspiring, restoring. Today, I take positive steps to honor the great gift of life I have been given. I embody the consciousness of life. We light this candle for elimination. The power of elimination continuously dissolves the debts of yesterday. Today, I forgive self, others, and circumstances, setting all free in God's love. I release the past that I might step gratefully and boldly into the divine fullness of this day. I embody the consciousness of elimination.
We light this candle for order. The power of order is the first principle of the universe. Today, I put God first, and my life unfolds in grace. In all matters, I silently affirm divine order and free God's great plan to unfold in perfect ways. I embody the consciousness of order. We light this candle for strength. The power of strength brings balance, endurance, tolerance, and ever new energy into my life. Today, I allow divine strength to surge through me, and I am renewed. I embody the consciousness of strength.
We light this candle for wisdom. The power of wisdom is ever present. Today, I take time to invite the highest frequencies of wisdom within me into my awareness. I invite, then I permit, align, and obey. I embody the consciousness of wisdom. We light this candle for love. The grand power of love heals and harmonizes every aspect of my life right now. Today I surrender to love's ways, inviting love to go before me, guiding me in and through all affairs. And I accept the peace of this decision. I embody the consciousness of love.
We light this candle for power. Power is discovered in the silence. Power is expressed through the word. Today, I listen and receive guidance. Today, I speak powerful words that prosper, bless, and heal. I embody the consciousness of power. We light this candle for zeal. The power of zeal thrusts me into the universe's highest purposes with enthusiasm and joy. Today, I feel God's mighty spirit as me, accomplishing miraculous works through me. I embody the consciousness of zeal.
We light this candle for faith. The power of faith lifts me beyond perceptions rooted in finite earthly limitation to those loosed into limitless divine possibility. Today, I invite faith to infuse my vision, revealing the perfectly divine patterns which unite all of creation. I embody the consciousness of faith. We light this candle for understanding. The power of understanding assures me that divine activity is present and active in all circumstances and all people. Today, I enjoy the comforts and freedoms that understanding grants. I embody the consciousness of understanding.
We light this candle for will. The power of will is the great permission giver of consciousness. Today, I enroll will in support of my steadfast decision to say no to old self-defeating ways and yes to my greater good. I embody the consciousness of will. We light this candle for imagination. The power of imagination reveals possibility beyond circumstances. Today, I give shape, color, and form to unformed energy through imagination. I see myself fulfilling divine potentials as I delight in beauty, love, and abundance. I embody the consciousness of imagination.
Within the silence, I heard a voice gently ask me to let go. Suddenly I knew I had a choice about the way my life would go. He said, come with me, give me all your guilt and fear. Trust me with all of your pain. And from that day, when you give it all away, your life will never be the same. I have followed that voice the best that I could, and it's brought me graciously this far. I know this day my life will be as it should. The light of Christ in me will outshine every star. He said, come with me, give me all your guilt and fear. Trust me with all of your pain. And on that day, I gave it all away. My life has never been the same. Within the silence, I heard a voice gently ask me to let go. Suddenly I knew I had a choice about the way my life would go. He said, "Come with me, give me all your guilt and fear. Trust me with all of your pain." And from that day, when you give it all away, your life will never be the same. I have followed that voice the best that I could, and it's brought me graciously this far. I know this day my life will be as it should. The light of Christ in me will outshine every star. He said, "Come with me, give me all your guilt and fear. Trust me with all of your pain." And on that day, I gave it all away. My life has never been the same. So listen now, you know you can hear it too. Just stay still a little while and let God's voice sing a song of gratitude. And you will hear how much your Father loves his child. He says, "Come with me, give me all your doubt and fear. Trust me with all of your pain." And from that day, when you give it all away, your life will never be the same. Yes, on that day, when we all give it away, our light will glorify God's name.
Thursday suggests that beyond any experiences of tension, beyond any experiences of upheaval, any experiences of resistance, even beyond serendipitous support, wonderful friends, inspired mentors, there will come a point in any journey of unfolding, in any journey of being, in any journey of creativity, at which humans will step up to the threshold of all we've ever known and step forward. We might do so in profound trust. We may do so in quivering fear. But the path of unfolding will take us to such a juncture. This is one of the meanings of Thursday. And we consider it within the context of a psalm that whispers to each one gathered here. Every courageous sojourner, your victory is assured. Your victory is assured. And so it is. And amen. You may extinguish your candles. It has been an honor to spend the evening with you. I would ask those gathered here to remember Saturday as a possible day of silence, representing that period between an old life no longer and a new life not yet. And then we will gather on Sunday morning, dear friends, we will gather on Sunday morning and we will celebrate the triumphant story and what it says of your soul. Blessings, blessings, blessings.